Doesn't it baffle you how the unsinkable Titanic met its tragic end? Let's embark on a journey back to the early 20th century to an era of opulence and grandeur. The Titanic, a testament to human ingenuity and ambition, was more than just a ship. It was a floating palace, a marvel of engineering, and a beacon of luxury. Billed as unsinkable, the Titanic instilled an unshakable confidence in its passengers, a belief in its indestructibility. Yet, beneath this facade of invincibility, lurked a chilling fate. On a fateful night in April 1912, the Titanic embarked on its maiden voyage, a voyage that would etch its name in history, not for its grandeur but for its tragic end. The sinking of the Titanic, a ship thought to be indestructible, has puzzled historians, scientists, and mystery enthusiasts alike for over a century. It's time to dive into the icy waters of mystery that surround the Titanic's sinking. Imagine a ship as massive as the Titanic colliding with an iceberg. What could have led to this catastrophic event? Let's delve into the icy conditions that fateful night. The Titanic was sailing through an area known to have icebergs. Despite this known danger, the ship was traveling at near full speed. Why? The Titanic was believed to be unsinkable. Its massive size and innovative design were thought to protect against such dangers, but there were other factors at play that night. The lookouts tasked with spotting hazards were without their binoculars, a vital tool in their work. Some theories suggest these binoculars were misplaced. Others propose they were locked away, and the key was with an officer who had been reassigned at the last minute. Without these essential tools, the lookout's ability to spot the iceberg in time was severely compromised. Then there were the iceberg warnings. Multiple ships in the area had sent out warnings about the ice. But the Titanic, confident in its perceived invincibility, seemingly ignored these warnings. The ship's wireless operators were busy sending out passenger messages, and may not have prioritized these critical iceberg warnings. But it wasn't just about the warnings that were received. There were also warnings that never made it to the Titanic. The Californian, another ship in the vicinity, tried to warn the Titanic about the ice. However, their messages were cut off by the Titanic's operators. Later that night, the Californian observed the Titanic's distress rockets but failed to act, a decision that still haunts the annals of maritime history. The collision with the iceberg was more than a simple accident. It was a series of unfortunate decisions, assumptions, and mishaps that culminated in the ultimate disaster. The Titanic, the unsinkable ship, hit an iceberg, and the unthinkable started to unfold. But could an iceberg alone have caused the Titanic to sink? This question has puzzled historians, maritime experts, and mystery enthusiasts alike. Stay tuned as we delve further into the mysteries surrounding the sinking of the Titanic. Did you know that a fire had been burning in the Titanic's coal room even before the ship set sail? A startling revelation, isn't it? Now, let's delve deeper into the mystery of this fire and how it might have played a pivotal role in the sinking of the so-called unsinkable ship. The Titanic, a marvel of engineering genius, was powered by massive coal-fired boilers. Now, coal fires are not uncommon on ships. However, what makes the Titanic's case unique is that the fire reportedly started a good 10 days before the ship even embarked on its maiden voyage. As per some investigators and experts, the fire had been smoldering in one of the coal bunkers, situated near the ship's hull. The crew, in a bid to control the fire, had been shoveling the burning coal into the furnace. This was a standard procedure to deal with such fires, but it had two major implications. Firstly, the need to dispose of the burning coal might have led the ship to sail at a higher speed than usual, thus making it harder to avoid the fatal iceberg. Secondly, and more importantly, the fire might have weakened the hull's steel structure. The area where the fire supposedly burned was precisely where the iceberg struck the Titanic. It's a chilling coincidence, isn't it? Some experts argue that the weakened steel could have made the ship more susceptible to damage, and with the iceberg's impact, the already compromised hull could have easily ruptured, leading to the catastrophic flooding of the ship's compartments. However, despite the compelling evidence, this theory has not been universally accepted. Some argue that the fire, while unfortunate, did not contribute significantly to the ship's sinking. The debate rages on, adding another layer of mystery to the tragic tale of the Titanic. But there's more to this story than just a fire. So, stay tuned as we continue to unravel the enigmatic circumstances surrounding the sinking of the world's most famous ship. What if I told you that the ship that sank might not have been the Titanic at all? Now let's delve into one of the most captivating theories surrounding the Titanic disaster: the ship switch conspiracy. Imagine this. The Titanic, touted as the invincible marvel of the seas, was actually switched with its nearly identical sister ship, the Olympic. The Olympic, you see, had been involved in a few accidents and was considered less profitable. Some believe that the owners of the White Star Line, facing financial ruin, hatched an audacious plan. They decided to swap the Titanic with the Olympic, disguise the latter as the former, and then purposefully sink it to claim an enormous insurance payout. The two ships were constructed side by side, and they were almost mirror images of each other, making the switch plausible. Subtle differences, though, like the number of portholes, could give away the switch. But would anyone notice in time? This theory, as intriguing as it is, has its fair share of detractors. Critics argue that the logistics of such a switch would be a gargantuan task. The ships were colossal, and switching them unnoticed would require an almost impossible level of secrecy and precision. Yet, the theory persists, fueling endless debates among historians and enthusiasts alike. Was it the Titanic that met its icy end, or was it the Olympic, masquerading as its ill-fated twin? And just when you thought the mysteries couldn't get any deeper, ever wondered why there were not enough lifeboats on the Unsinkable Ship? It's a question that has puzzled historians and mystery enthusiasts for over a century. The Titanic, dubbed as the Ship of Dreams, carried over 2,000 passengers but had lifeboats that could accommodate less than half of them. A baffling design flaw, you might think. However, it was not an oversight. It was a deliberate decision. You see, the ship was designed with a belief in its invincibility, and the lifeboats were seen more as a formality than a necessity. The confusion during the evacuation added to the mystery. In the chaos that unfolded, many lifeboats were launched half-empty, leaving hundreds of passengers stranded. It was a night of desperation and despair, a night when the unsinkable met its fate. But the mystery doesn't end there. Some argue that the ship's design was flawed, but not in the way you might think. The theory suggests that the ship's hull was poorly designed, causing it to sink faster than anticipated. If the Titanic had stayed afloat longer, could more lifeboats have been launched? Could more lives have been saved? It's a haunting question that lingers to this day. As we peel back the layers, the mysteries only seem to multiply. Each layer unraveled reveals a new perspective, a new theory, a new mystery, leaving us with more questions than answers. The enigma of the Titanic's lifeboats is just one piece of this jigsaw puzzle. As the Titanic took its final plunge, what do you think were the events unfolding aboard the doomed ship? Theories abound about the final moments of the Titanic, each more chilling than the last. As the ship began to sink, some say it broke in half, while others suggest it descended intact. The debate continues to this day. Was it the result of the iceberg's impact or the intense pressure as the ship sank deeper into the ocean? Or perhaps it was a fatal combination of both. A cruel hand dealt by fate to the unsinkable ship. Meanwhile on the ship, a scene of eerie calm and unimaginable bravery was unfolding. The ship's band, led by Wallace Hartley, played on. The strains of music, a desperate attempt to keep panic at bay, echoed through the ship, even as it began its descent into the icy depths. It's said they played till the very end, their final tune a haunting melody forever etched in history. But what was the final song they played? Was it the hymn, "Nearer, My God, to Thee," a solemn farewell, or a more upbeat tune to keep spirits high? This remains another enigma in the Titanic's tale. Amidst the chaos, the wireless operators worked tirelessly, sending out distress signals till the last possible moment. The final message sent from the Titanic, cryptic and chilling, read CQD-DMGY. CQD, the early distress signal, and MGY, the Titanic's call sign. But who was on the receiving end? And did any of them reach help in time? These mysterious final wireless messages, like many aspects of the Titanic story, are shrouded in uncertainty. And so, the Titanic, once a symbol of human achievement, now remains an enigma, a haunting tale of mysteries unsolved.